about fireworks. This is the black negative shape of a firework. What this is going to be is the rocket flying up. When we cut through time, the rocket is flying up into the blackness. Let's assume that it's a completely dark black surrounding field around it. It explodes. I have a couple of explosion discs. These are basically just a blob of white with a little bit of blacking on top of it, slightly curved, just like a kind of like a I don't know, a sled or just a bowl. It's a tiny, very, very shallow bowl shape, right? And this is all white inside. It's just, it looks dark, but that's basically all white color that's been rounded sort of into a bowl shape. And a little bit of black has been put over the front of it. And that creates these sort of what I call explosion discs. These two explosion discs will sit on front of the actual firework, which is this shape. And this is all basically just pure black clay. This is a negative shape. So to diagram this from the side, the firework, if you were cutting in time, this direction going forward, the firework flies up, which is, you can see up this side, and then it explodes. There's a couple of flashes, and then it explodes outwards. And this is where the actual fireworks are going to happen. I'm going to put white sort of little flash pot explosions that are just white blobs that go off really quickly at the end of this entire rainbow, or it's really an umbrella shape. It'll be carved along each ridge of this half circle, this half globe, half sphere. All of the shapes will be exploding outward from the center. Then along here there'll be a series of white dots, and then all of these things will sort of fade away. So there'll be a third kind of a slow fade of remnant particles that are sparkling as they go downward. So again, this is all being chopped this direction, and this is the cradle that holds all of it, and this is just the negative space black that all of that will be built upon. Alright, I went ahead and I created a little bit of a sort of a zigzag firework here. By the way, this should go up a little faster and fall a little slower, so I would think these shapes go down at this angle and this goes up high and fast. Maybe I want to do this to it. I'll put this to the side for a moment and try to explain what's going on inside it. I'm going to use this pink and black, or try to create some white and black, which creates some texture that allows sort of sparks to go off quickly. That's my objective here, is to create something that's fizzling as it moves up. This does it, but it's not quite bright enough because it's sort of an off pink in the white. Okay. That's a very fast and dirty version. I'm going to cut it, sandwich it, take these sections and recut them, and then zigzag these cuts so it's alternating, and then cut it one more time and zigzag these, sort of flip-flop them, I should say. This creates sort of sparkle. All this is when it gets cut later, you'll see that it kind of makes a sparkle texture. All right, bump. Upside down, right side up. Upside down, right side up. Upside down, right side up. Not perfect, but it gets the point across. All right, sparkle. This sparkle will be running up quickly up this this little line. This is the rocket flying up. I think I do want to do one other idea here too. Maybe I'll throw in some bright yellow. And this is going to zigzag up. That's what this block is. I'm showing you how I made that. I have some red and other colors in that block, by the way. But what I'm going to do is just kind of roly-poly this. I'm going to make sort of a braid. Roly and poly. It's a kind of a zigzagging pigs in a blanket idea where the tubes are set in as negative space to the snaking shape. The sandwich is snaking along. It's it can be made for women's hair, or that's always a good hair texture, but it can do a lot of things. So this is going to be going up really quickly, but in its wake it'll be leaving behind the sparkles. So I'm going to cut the sparkles out and put put this in front. All this will be blacked out and covered, so it will reveal itself from black. I think I want it to go a little higher. Yeah. And faster. Now, the law of pre-distortion says if I'm going to go higher and faster, this has to be skinnier, because the more I tilt it, the fatter this streaky thing looks. So I'm going to try to make it a little skinnier. These are the two explosion caps that'll be set in right there. But before I do these explosions, so the rocket goes up, it explodes, ba-boom, and then I'm going to now create the firework itself that moves quickly in all directions. This might be a little too consistent of a texture, so I think what I'll do is actually slice it and then re-slice it. It's also not as bright as I would like it to be, which is unfortunate. So I may add a little sparkle to it. I'm trying to make something really eye-popping when it animates. So I'm creating a quick little texture here. Another ribbon, another bit of white hot, another ribbon, some more white hot. Okay. Let's try it for now with this. So this is now a little more disorganized, which is actually what I want. I don't want it to be too organized as it explodes outwards. I want these lines to come from the center of the explosion, and they lose velocity as they're going down backwards in shape. They start out very fast, they slow down, and then by the time they get here, they're just hanging in air, not I actually want a little more variety in it. So I think what I'll do is this will make it a little more active. I'm going to actually go ahead and twist it. That'll put a little more spunk in the actual motion of the let me take this ball off, this negative shape, and work on it from a down perspective. Again, it's this shape down here. I added the white because it's important that it's the brightest thing that you're looking at. I made it random because it's also important that it's not just a consistent line, because this is supposed to be simulate sort of a sparkly effect. I then twisted it because that also adds a little bit of kinetic motion within just the tiny proximity of each line. Makes it a little more interesting, a little more firework-like. Again, that's what I'm trying to simulate in an artistic way. Again, not obviously, I'm not trying to do it like technical pointillism or exact science right here. This is more of an inspirational firework to get the idea across. So I don't know if I'll have enough.